Welcome to the Boys Only Cast, the only podcast where it's just a two-man. I don't know. That's right. That's the only one that exists.
There's no other podcast where only two people are on the podcast episode.
Only this one. My name is Devin, and joined with me is Curtis.
We're joined together, hearts fused,
Yeah,
livers fused.
the double pump fuse, so we're fused by the cock.
Fucking double pump, yeah.
The usual start-off little thing. The Boys Only podcast goes live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Not Central, not Mountain, not Greenwich, or whatever the fuck it's called. Eastern.
We don't believe in mountain time.
Yeah, we don't believe in mountains. On YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review or tweet at us on Twitter at The Boys Only Fort.
Leave us a review on iTunes, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, whatever, and we'll read your review.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be special?
Tell us how large we are in the pants or how small we are in the pants. We'll read it anyways.
Tell us if you'd want to get too pumped by Devin for science, just like Bill Nye.
Tell us if you really just want us to cure. If you want to tell us that we cured your social anxiety.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
we're really quite a healing podcast, aren't we?
We're like those guys who stand up on the stage and they're like, "Jesus, come and save this man."
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, or am I on my own on this one?
Oh yeah. Just yesterday, me and my girlfriend watched Borat. I love that movie, and it has the scene where he goes to like the weird church. It's almost like a rock concert church where the guys are like screaming, trying to heal him.
I actually haven't watched Borat in a long time. I haven't watched Borat since Video Network.
Okay. Yeah, Borat is absolutely fantastic. I love it. It's one of my favorite comedies. It's a very clever movie because I'm just something about him. He elicits reactions out of people in the movies about the reactions that he gets and just how outrageous he is.
Is it like
and everything?
Is it completely like people don't know what's going on, or do they like? Because I know
think it's like 50-50.
Okay, yeah, because there's some people that like they have their faces blurred out, so clearly they didn't get rights to use those people.
Oh, nobody's face is blurred out in Borat.
Isn't there? I thought there was one or two.
No, only like the dicks. Because surely you remember the scene where Borat and Azamat have a fight scene in the hotel.
I feel like
totally naked, and they like 69, and Azamat's this big flabby guy.
Oh yeah,
he has his balls in Borat's face.
I remember the when he goes into the hotel and he says, "What is up, my N-word?"
Oh no, he says, "What's up, vanilla face?"
Yeah,
he goes to the guy behind the desk.
Bang bang skeet skeet.
Yeah, bang skeet skeet. And he says something like, "I wanna get my black ass a room" or something like that.
What else?
It's the movie's just great because it's like there's like scenes like the rodeo scene was a real thing, and there's like a news report.
Yeah, the rodeo scene.
That's on YouTube.
What was that other? Him learning how to tell jokes is a good scene too.
Yeah, not.
The suit is gray. Pause.
Nah.
You're not supposed. Not.
Yeah, and the feminist scene as well is really funny.
Fuck. His movies.
It's one of those movies that I've seen it so many times, but I can keep watching it because it's always funny, and especially because my girlfriend hadn't seen the movie, so it's good to experience it as someone who she didn't even know about the Speedo, like his green Speedo.
Oh, so. his good old what are they called? Fuck, banana hammocks or whatever. Or no, is that just
yeah?
I don't know.
It goes up to his shoulders and then gets right in there.
So wait, did she not even like understand the like very nice references?
No, she didn't even know any of the quotes.
Oh my god.
So it was like a total blind watch, that's always good when you can watch a movie that you love with somebody who's never seen it or even heard of anything from it.
But from now on, you have to introduce her to, "That's my wife."
That's my wife. Yeah. High five.
My sister would stand and go, "You can't get this. You can't get these." One day,
yeah,
he get
can't
out,
get it.
And he
one
got
day
these.
he get it. Yeah. I haven't seen Bruno or The Dictator, and I don't really want to.
I haven't. I've seen parts of Bruno, but I will recommend The Dictator. It's all right.
maybe I'll watch it just to see how it is, because it's dumb, and watching dumb stuff's fun as well. Bruno, I don't know. All I know about Bruno is like the talking dick scene or whatever. So that's why I was like, forget about Bruno.
Bruno, isn't he just like a gay German guy, or like a stereotypically gay German guy?
Yeah, and he's like a model or a fashion designer.
The only thing I know from that is my name Bruno. He says he goes in like a full like Borat sounding voice to say my name Bruno.
At the pawn shop when I worked there, none of the DVDs were in order except for Bruno, because there were so many Bruno Blu-rays and nobody bought them that we could just stack them up into an entire row of just Bruno. And I think I saw one person buy a copy of Bruno.
How much did you sell it for?
Blu-rays were $2 or $4. I don't remember how much Blu-rays were.
I feel like that's a reasonable price for Bruno.
I think they were like $250 eventually.
That's
Blu-rays.
not bad.
They're really cheap, but yeah. And the pawn shop, whenever people brought in DVDs or Blu-rays or anything, you always had to like check them and everything. So one time, one guy was just looking through his DVDs, and all of a sudden there's porn, and he's like, "Oh, that's my roommate's. I told him not to get that in there."
Backdoor sluts
And
9.
But then that turned into something like, "Do you want it?" And I was like, "No, man." I'm just like, no. I was like, "Fuck, just take this shit. Gross." You know.
You want it?
You want it?
So when you say yes, and you just immediately throw it into a player, you immediately start watching it there.
Just put it right in the test player.
You see how much of a man this guy is. You put it in and just start like beating off to the fucking porno right there. In front of him.
That's exactly what I would want to do at the pawn shop. It's a great idea.
Yeah, if he joins, he's a real man. If he walks away and says, "What the fuck?" he's a pussy.
The thing about the pawn shop that made me realize it was a great decision to quit is just a couple weeks after I quit, an unruly kid took a shit in one of the aisles, and the parents didn't care, and they didn't even bother to clean it up or do anything. Like, they were just like, "Don't do that. Oh, bad.
Why are
bad kid, don't do that."
Why are kids just so fucked?
Yeah, and this kid was fucked, like, the times he come in before, but I didn't think that he just straight up took a shit. And this is, like, right after I quit, and I heard about that, and I was like, thank God. Like, that's just one of those stories you hear, like, I made a good decision.
I would have just got a push broom and just smeared it all over the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Assert your dominance to the kid. Charming. Follow him with it.
Yeah, and just be like, "Look what you did, you fuck."
Just smearing shit all over the floor.
Yeah.
Fucking
There's all kinds of shit like that.
Speaking of porno movies.
Oh.
No, I was going to tell the story when we were in Discord on Friday, but I didn't find the right time. Back in the day when I would torrent my movies, definitely don't do that now.
Who would do that?
I got the movie. You remember the movie Friends with Benefits with Justin Timberlake and what's her fucking name? Ashton Kutcher's fucking wife.
Oh, I don't know. That 70s show girl, Mila something or
Mila Kunis. Why did I not remember that? Okay, anyways. So me and my girlfriend at the time, we wanted to watch that movie, so I torrented it, put it on a DVD. And this was only one of those like single time kind of right DVDs.
Yeah.
We put the movie in and it starts playing, and there's like no little like intro like Paramount Pictures kind of thing. So I was like, cool, like I got the direct to the movie shit right here. We watched for probably 5 minutes before all of a sudden I hit pause and was like, okay, I haven't seen Justin Timberlake or anyone in this so far. And when I hit pause, I realized it's only like 40 minutes long. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. So I start skipping through it, and it stops right on just this hardcore porn. So
the fact that it took you this long to realize too is really amusing.
It's like, just the funniest thing.
Usually like a movie like that, it introduced like the lead actor right away. Or there'll be like a title or something.
Yeah, and just like I was like, okay, whatever. Like, again, the movie's about friends with benefits, so maybe it's like starting off with some other thing, and then it's gonna cut into the actual movie, and then it cut into just actual porn.
I mean, there must have been some pretty heavy plot in this porn that would have made you think it was like a movie.
I don't remember paying attention to much of it, to be honest. I think we were just
on
like,
your phone until
well, it was old days. They're on our iPods.
Oh, you're on your iPods, yeah.
Yeah, and so like, you're just kind of sitting there waiting for the movie to really start, and then all of a sudden I was just like, hey, I'm gonna check this out. And of course, it's like that was back when I had a shitty laptop. It would take me probably 30 minutes to burn a DVD.
Oh yeah, that was no fun.
And I couldn't rewrite the DVD because it was shitty cheap one write DVDs. So
we were the last generation of kids to experience burning DVDs and CDs.
Yeah.
That's a weird thought, you know? Like, I don't want to be like one of those kids these days. They won't get it. They weren't there.
They don't get how it feels.
It's just interesting to think that we were the last generation of kids who will, because that's something that like will never come back.
I mean,
I don't think there'll be a DVD burning revival,
unless it's in some kind of like, what is it like? Kind of like vinyl, where it's like there's a very small little niche for it.
Well, I mean, I'm sure when CDs came out, people probably never thought that people would be so interested in like cassettes or like mixtapes or anything, and there's like still a niche for that. Records as well. When the new formats came out, people were probably like, why would anyone ever go back to that?
I recently I downloaded Tony Hawk's Underground for PC.
Okay.
And I was installing it, and it's technically like the guy has the CD key, so there's no cracking for it.
Yeah.
In a sense, but you do end up having to crack it because the CD key's been used like a lot.
Of course.
But it's just straight up on this like Tony Hawk Underground forum. So I downloaded it, and when I loaded up, it had like that old like Windows XP window come up saying like enter your CD key, and it's got that shitty fucking like game background, but it stretched it out to the full screen, so it looked so bad. Yeah. And I was like, this takes me back, and I couldn't copy and paste the CD key, so I had to like type in every single brought me fucking back. Like when I built my PC,
man,
I didn't put a CD drive in it, and that was really near the end of it when I was still kind of like burning DVDs every once in a while. So like I was like, I don't know, like I have to use this shitty laptop to burn my DVDs. I don't know, this might be a waste.
I've always liked to burn DVDs of like YouTube videos I liked or whatever. Like I'd make like cover art.
Yeah, you have like
I'd just like burn them.
You have a collection of just a lot. Like, don't you still have all the shit we made in like high school and all that?
Yeah, but I never put that on DVD. No, I did.
Yeah, you did, because you gave me
I made volume 1.
Yeah, you gave me.
Oh yeah, I gave you guys DVDs too. Yeah.
I don't know where that ever ended up going.
Probably somewhere.
But
that was all my old computer, obviously. And I was very sad when I got this laptop and it doesn't have the CD drive. The only reason I go to my
I thought new laptops still had CD drives, except like or is it like one of those thin ones?
This is a thinner one, yeah. So, I can't play Lego Island on it, which I mean I couldn't anyway. I bought Lego Island when it came to the pawn shop, so I had to use my dad's old Windows 98 laptop to play it, and it was not worth it. I mean, no surprise, but it was funny anyway.
Do you want to know something I just pulled out of my dresser?
What?
A nice white Fruit of the Loom shirt.
Oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That is your little comic drawing from high school.
Shit.
That is still every once in a while when I like go through and get rid of some clothes, I see it and I'm like, can't get rid of that. That stays.
So to explain to listeners, in high school, instead of actually paying attention, I made comics. And I started doing this in grade 10. It was just like I made comics first about my friends and people and stuff like that, and then it kind of got more general, but it was just like a parody of the school, basically. And if anything happened, like if anyone did something, I would put it in the comic, or just
like when I got a haircut and you made my forehead bigger.
You fixate on that one a lot.
I know, because you made fun of my big forehead years before I started making fun of it.
Yeah, and this is like right around the time I started watching South Park, and I started making these when Rage comics were still a thing at the end of 2011. So there were a lot of like Rage faces early on, but eventually I got better, and ended up making 90 issues by the time we got to grade 12. And teachers were always like, keep doing that, man, that's awesome. Like nobody was ever like, hey, you should pay attention. They were just like, hey, that's pretty cool, keep doing that, that's awesome. So I was like,
what about that one
right.
that one substitute teacher at lunch?
Well, I got the crazy substitute guy to sign my last comic. Yeah.
The one that I'm talking. No, the one in the courtyard.
Well, you're gonna have to explain it.
Okay. So at our high school, we had this like, it was a quote unquote courtyard because it wasn't an actual courtyard. It was just like a big, kind of like long stretch of opening with like lunch tables and everything. That was where you ate lunch. Or sat on your spare period.
Spare. Yeah.
And Curtis was drawing his comic, which the name of his comic is
Sexy School Stories.
And this substitute teacher, he's a like a well-known substitute teacher around our school by most people. And he comes up and he sees Curtis drawing his comic and he's asking him questions about it. And he asks what the title is, and Curtis tells him, I would have lied. I would have lied about what the name was. But you told him straight up what the name was. And he goes, are all these comics about sex? And you're literally like, no, like that is not what any of this is. And it was
I don't remember this.
Oh, it was the funniest thing because you were like, because you probably pushed this out of your brain because you were squirming. It was fucking hilarious. This teacher's asking like all these questions, and then all of a sudden he goes, are all these comics about? And he's like looking around, and he's just like, sex? And you're literally immediately, we're just like, no, like that's just the name. It was a joke name. Like it's funny, haha.
That sounds like something that I would repress.
Oh, it was fucking hilarious. It was the best thing I've ever seen. Not only because you were squirming, that. You were squirming so bad. Like as soon as you told them the name of it, I was like,
remember that.
Yeah, you told the name. I was confused why you told them the name because I would have been like, nah. I would have been like, oh yeah, this is like funny haha school.
Funny haha school. I mean, Sexy School Stories. I don't even know why I gave it that name. I think I was just like, haha, it's funny, so I just kept it. But it was fun, and I haven't drawn a lot or made a lot of comics recently, but it was good just to
because our lives
see
are
the
boring
evolution
now.
in my artwork and stuff. And well, yeah, that's just it. I don't want to keep making school comics, and like I would keep even after high school for like 2 years after high school, I'd keep trying to make new comics with the same characters or something, and I was just like, this just isn't interesting, and I lost the inspiration for that because I was like, this is over now.
Yeah, I feel like
I don't want to go back and make another school-based series because it's not exactly the cutting edge or something that's relevant to my life anymore, you know?
Yeah. I feel like your only content would really come from like the stupid shit we did when we went out to like dinner.
Oh, exactly. And I thought about making
sexy
comic
dinner
series
stories.
Sexy dinner stories. God damn it. I thought about making a comic series about the pawn shop, or at least like draw caricatures of people that came in the pawn shop, but I never did. That would have been a good idea. I should have kept track of more stories, like written stuff down that happened, because that would have just been good to just log that so I can just remember all the crazy shit that went down.
Fuck, I would be much like 7 years of McDonald's. I repress all my fucking memories of that place. I have my few like really good stories, and that's about it at this point.
Yeah, you don't want to think of all the other not as fun stuff.
Man, I haven't been like, I've gone to McDonald's probably 3 times since September of last year.
Well, that's good. You probably want to keep it that way anyway.
I went there on Thursday just to get like a sandwich for lunch because I was hungry and I wanted to see who was there.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Be like, hey.
Yeah, I drive by and people are like, "Oh my God, it's you! You're not dead."
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck. I've been this drive-through, so I kind of wish I was, but
God, I hate that drive-through specifically. But
it's weird. Yeah, I'm coming up on in 2 months I'll have not been working there for a year.
the passage of time
Oh my
in
God.
2020 has been fake.
Oh yeah.
like I think you said last time, they're now like it to me. It feels like there are 2 months of my life, April and May, that are missing. Like they happened, I know they happened, but I don't know if they actually did. Like I don't know how to describe it.
July, I felt like started 2 days ago. It's already very close to halfway through.
Yeah, that's
Like,
very unusual as well.
It's becoming a lot, I guess, with the fact of there's not much I can do during the week besides like when I get off work and come home. I don't really do much because I can't go out really and do much.
You kind of gotta find things you can do to make every day different, and that's what I've been trying to do in the last few weeks. Is on Sunday come up with like a few different things I can do at home or whatever.
Yeah.
That'll make each day like distinct, and because you always gotta have stuff to look forward to, even if it's just the mundane stuff. I find by glorifying the small details in life, you'll be a lot happier.
I've been looking forward to
things.
Fridays, which it's not a good thing to be like look forward to the weekend. But it's like, because like the last couple weeks, Fridays, we've just all been on Discord.
Yeah, we
playing games, and like I've been like, I'm sitting there on a Tuesday. I'm like, fuck, is it Friday yet? Like, it's at the end of the day, Friday, so I can go literally just enjoy a time after work.
Have some interaction with people.
Yeah, this weekend, because normally I'll go out on Saturdays, but nobody wanted to do anything this weekend. I invited a friend to come over and like hang out today, and they were like, nah, I'm busy, whatever. So I was literally just like, last night at 9:00, I took my entire desk apart. I pulled my entire PC, my entire setup, and everything. I moved everything around. So my entire setup is moved around and different again.
You're just getting busy.
That's
going at it.
I attribute to like really doing a deep clean of my corner, because I make my content corner, I make it a mess and I just don't clean it.
Oh yeah.
So when I do that deep clean of it, I usually attribute it to I'm just stressed out and have nothing to do because I'm sitting at home.
It's good to do stuff like that though. I feel like there's a couple times every week where I'll like tidy up a little bit and I'll be like, fresh start. It'll be nighttime and I'll be like, clean up and be like, fresh start, tomorrow's gonna be awesome or whatever. And there's that brief moment after I clean up that I'm like, this is nice, this is fantastic, there's optimism and hope. Just because the things are cleaned up. Or even like my room where I make music, sometimes it gets a little messy in there, and after I clean up, I'm like gonna go in there with a new good attitude, make another song tomorrow. Just some little things like that,
Yeah, I'm looking at the other side of my room, because my one half is like my bed, my desk, and all that shit. I did that half. Now I'm looking at the other half. Part of that is just like the workout area, so I mean that's usually always clean. There's maybe like weights moved around, but then I have this little like shelf. I have been trying to clean it for the last 3 months.
You just haven't got through yet.
I clean it off, make it like less of a mess. 2 weeks later, it's just like I've kind of like used something and been like, I don't know where to put this, so I'll just pile it on top of there. Like right now, my laptop's on it, just on top of this pile of just garbage. Not garbage, but like just. I'm also scared of my closet, because it's gotta come out of it. That is piled up like up to my stomach in just boxes and cables and shit just thrown in there.
For me, that's under my bed. That's where I put shit.
Thankfully under my bed there's this it's like a hotel bed where it's got that center thing in it.
Oh, so you can't put anything under it.
Yeah, but there is still a lip where shit just kind of sits.
Naturally, it just goes in there. Yeah.
Let's see, I gotta think. It's probably been like 4 or 5 years since I've had an under my bed.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I just
Yeah, under your bed is easy because you don't see it. So if you just put a bunch of shit in there, you're like, my room is clean, it's perfect.
When
But
you're
meanwhile, you got all this
you're
dusty ass
sweeping,
shit.
you're sweeping, and you're like, well, I'm not gonna clean up under there, so you just like fling it under.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I still got like there's like socks and
I got
I think
so
a few
sick.
pairs of jeans under there.
I got so sick and tired of having to clean that out every couple of months that I just like I got rid of the whatever the frame, and I just put a box spring and a mattress on the floor, and I was like, fuck it.
Fair enough. It gets the job done.
Easy shit. Then I make the rest of my
Easy
room a
shit.
fucking mess.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Well, I'm
Cleaning up.
I'm one of those like box hoarders. Like, I
Like
have
boxes of stuff coming.
Yeah, and it's like whenever I get rid of this stuff, I'll eventually throw out the box. Like next time I clean out my closet, the Xbox One box is going away because now I have 2 Xbox One boxes in there.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's hard sometimes. You don't want to get rid of the boxes because they'll look nice or they're just handy or something.
It's not even that.
Like,
I don't feel like, because those boxes always come with so much shit in them. It's like if I break down the box, then I have literally like half a garbage bag worth of shit to then throw out.
yeah, styrofoam and
Yeah.
all the plastic, extra cables and manuals and shit.
I have a monitor box that's just leaned up against a shelf with my headphone box and my router box on top of it.
Oh, but yeah, that shit takes up the most space. I know, like,
Yeah.
you know, I make Gundams, and a lot of guys like to keep all their boxes, but to me that's so impractical, because then you're just gonna have just a big fat pile of boxes where you're gonna put all that shit. I keep a couple boxes to put extra parts and stuff in, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys think boxes are sacred, and that goes for anything, not just Gundam. That goes for like game systems and everything. A lot of people view the box as like a sacred item. They can't be desecrated.
I have an Atari
And-
2600 that I bought. It came with, like, it wasn't a good condition, but it came with the box.
Well, that's just it. Something like that, you'd want to keep the box. You know, if you found a original NES or whatever Atari, you want to keep the box. I wouldn't throw that out.
But those boxes
when
are
I was-
so fucking huge.
Yeah.
The Atari
I think I've
2600
only-
box is like the size of a monitor
it?
box.
Oh shit!
It's-
I've only seen like the old Nintendo boxes.
The Nintendo boxes are nice because they're small. Nintendo knows how to not waste
Yeah.
cardboard.
Yeah, that's true. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, when I was a kid, I was really sad when my mom threw out most of my Bionicle canisters, because I was like, I must keep all the canisters and all the instruction manuals.
Oh yeah, because they came in those like stupid little plastic tube looking things, right?
The original Toamata and the Toanuva came in like kind of plastic cylinders, and then
Okay,
they
like
would have other
16 years
designs.
ago, I would have known what you're talking about. What color Bionicles are you talking about?
Well, these are like the original like good guy characters,
Like the red, green, blue, and white, and all that.
and blue, green, white, brown, black, and red were the
Yeah.
colors. And yeah, the original ones came in the silver canisters that you could put the mask on top of they were shaped like dicks, but just a kind of cylinder farm silo design.
I cannot type. I'm trying to Google. Okay, yeah. I remember.
And
these.
you can spin the canisters around, or the artwork around, and see different things. And the Bionicle canisters are always pretty cool designs. Like there were some that you could like put the bull rock, you can fold them up and then attach them inside the canister, some stuff like that.
I remember those.
But eventually they just started getting worse and worse looking and stuff like that, like all these things do. But at least they never came in cardboard boxes like other Lego. Like they stood out. But
Well, because it was
eventually I had so many.
It was when they started, because like I saw in one of the boxes, it was like the start of the Lego Technic stuff.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
original Bionicles were Technics. They had Technic pieces and stuff.
Yeah,
I think it was only for the first year that they were Technic.
I think that's why I like them,
And
because
that
they're
was-
like moving parts.
Oh yeah, they had the gears and everything
Yeah.
like that. My first memory is crushing a Spider-Man balloon in the back of the old truck when I think it was my 4th birthday. That's my first memory. But
Jesus.
my first real memory that sticks out in my mind is when I got my first Bionicle set in 2001 when I was almost 5. And we just went to Walmart, and I wanted to get a Star Wars Lego set. But my dad was like, you have too many of those. Get something else. I remember specifically I picked up like an Endor set that had like I think the speeders or something on it, and then I saw this whole wall of silver canisters, and I was like, what is this? And I picked up Tahu first, the red one, and the canister was open, so I didn't go with that. So I got Kopaka. I came home and I was like, you guys are gonna help me build this, right? And they're like, no, that's yours. You do it. Not in a bad way, but no, not in a bad way, but more of an encouraging me to do my own thing kind of way, you know? More of like, it's yours. And then, yeah, that's just one of those memories that's firmly burnt into my mind, and I can replay the entire day. But then I'll forget like important things. Like the thing that everyone remembers from happening in 2001, I have no memory of, but I have perfect memory of this. Getting my first Bionicle, because when you're a kid, you wouldn't understand what 9/11, like what the implications of all that is when you're 5, you know.
Well, I mean, if you're a 5-year-old now, apparently you know fucking everything because you have a fucking iPhone in front of you when you're 3.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a 5-year-old, I think maybe you're a little more connected to what goes on and what everything is. But I don't remember that, but I remember the night that Bush declared war in Iraq in 2003. That sticks out in my memory.
I don't remember anything I don't remember anything like that. Like any like
it was
news
weird
stuff. I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, and like when you're a kid, you're like, what's in Iraq? Like, where is that? You know, like you don't know anything, and it's But there was one guy who went to school with, and I would always just be like, he didn't know who George Bush was, and I'd be like, how do you not know who George Bush is? But here's the thing, as Canadians, I don't know who the prime minister was during 9/11.
Which it was.
I don't know if you do.
Wasn't it the Stephen Harper? Because Stephen Harper was like.
No, it wasn't Stephen Harper yet.
Really?
No. Like I knew.
Honestly, in my head, I just thought he was just the prime minister from the moment I was born till whenever.
Well, yeah, because Stephen Harper was the first one that I remembered.
2006.
I don't remember. Okay. But I don't remember who was in before him, but I knew all the stuff about like George Bush, but not about, our own guy.
You know what I knew about Paul Martin? Never who the fuck that guy
I've never even heard of that guy's
name. Jean Chrétien, I've heard the name, honestly.
Okay, I know the name.
Didn't even think that it what it was.
Well, that's just it. Okay, now you have this list up, but like if you take that list away and think honestly, how many prime ministers can you name right now?
The Queen on the $20 bill.
No, but actually, like name as many at the top of your head.
Well, it's both Trudeau's, obviously.
Yeah.
Stephen Harper. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Okay, because for me, it's John A. MacDonald.
Oh, I guess, yeah. Fuck.
Both Trudeau's, Stephen Harper, Diefenbaker, and the French guy who's on one of the dollar bills, the influential guy with the French last name. People rank him as like one of the best. I don't even know.
Who's on the $5 bill?
No, not the 5. I think it's the $10 bill.
Yeah, because 5 is not Will. Tell me who's on it.
Laurier.
Yeah, that's who it is. Yeah. The $5 is
okay.
Sir Wilfrid Laurier. I remember that.
Oh, he's on the $5.
Who's on the $10 bill?
Who's on the $10? Well, they changed it for that. What's her name?
Oh, for the new one. Yeah. I'm thinking of the old one.
McDonald on it. Yeah, the old one is Johnny.
Now
McDonald.
it's this chick, whatever her name is.
I'd never heard of her before until they.
I can't
changed
even
it
read where her name is.
Bill. Put Terry Fox on one of the dollar bills.
The only one I can tell you off by heart is just $20 bill, because that's the Queen.
The Queen. Yeah.
Like
but it's just funny. It goes to show, like, as Canadians, we don't even know who our own guys are, but we know all these presidents and American figures and stuff like that. Like war generals. You know, all the famous American war generals from World War II or the Civil War or whatever. But
really,
Canadian ones, I don't know. Like,
the joke growing up was that
we don't know this shit.
The joke growing up is that we had a pistol with 2 bullets and a butter knife. That's why we don't know shit about our own. You want to know how I learned a lot about George Bush?
How?
Do you remember the mini clip games?
Guy?
No, the mini clip games.
Oh, mini clip games.
Where it was like the shoot 'em ups, where it was like the terrorists attacking the White House and Bush pushes the button and all of a sudden he gets like an AK or whatever from under his desk.
And the buddy game where you could like make a bush and throw him around or whatever it was.
Oh my god. That was where like
that's just it's so weird. Like in my mind when I think president, I think of Bush still, just because, from when we were kids.
Bush.
But it's so weird to look back at that era of time now that the time's passed and you watch movies from that time and all the patriotism and stuff and all the games they made. All the quote realistic war games that they made for the Xbox and stuff during Iraq. You know?
Medal of Honor games, like the old Medal of Honor games, are like sick. Those aren't Iraq.
Well, they're cool in the.
What's the one that I'm
on
thinking
the PS1? On the PS1, they had. I don't remember their names, but those are the ones that I played the most.
The game I played the most growing up, Conflict Desert Storm 2 on the GameCube.
Oh, okay.
Looking back at it, it's one of those games
from the year 2003.
It's one of those games of like, don't go and look at one of those games that you're really nostalgic about because
you'll find you don't like it anymore.
It's a piece of shit. I watched gameplay of it and I'm like,
Desert Storm 2 Iraqi base raid.
That's literally like that's what this game was. It was so difficult too growing up.
There's so many games like that from this time.
Yeah.
It's just like it. I mean, I guess that's just what happens when it's a wartime, but it's just so different from nowadays. All this kind of stuff, and only when you really look back do you realize, even since 2010,
all right,
how much say YouTube videos have changed and stuff like that. Age of Empires is listed in Iraq.
I guess, yeah. Army
but
of
I guess
Two. Because you're 2 mercenaries fighting through war. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this game just says that are set in Iraq, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like just the setting.
But I mean, yeah, there's
the DS version of Modern Warfare is in Iraq, but not the actual game. It's just listed. Wait, what's the difference with the DS game?
I feel like it's both, but like they just say Nintendo DS because they linked to the Nintendo DS one.
That just looks so weird. Like the DS had like this crazy subplot or something. Like,
I thought there were more. But yeah, you got 3 Desert Storm, 3 different games with Desert Storm. Like they made 2 Conflict Desert Storms. They made fucking Operation Desert Storm.
Yeah.
They were like, Desert Storm.
So much like U.S. military stuff with like the logo, like the star. You'd see that.
Yeah.
In ads and stuff like that, especially like when I read Mad Magazine, there was a lot of stuff like that. So it's interesting to look back at time you've lived through and see how things have changed since then. That's a weird feeling that we're only starting to be able to experience now.
You want to know something that I just thought of that it's like living in a different time?
Yeah.
Going with my friend to, at the time, A&P, because it wasn't Metro.
Yeah.
Going to the little magazine rack. We'd bring a piece of paper and a pen so we could write down the cheat codes for video games because we couldn't buy the magazine.
That's pretty illegal.
I mean, one of my friends just ripped a page right out of the magazine, pocketed it, and walked out. I was like, all right.
Then you're doing like a good, kind of like a good tax fraud to his robbing a bank, you know. Like a clean tax fraud or taking money from a billionaire's bank account to his, just straight up robbing a bank by stealing the page.
Yeah. If we ever lost it, it's like we knew exactly which magazine it was and like what page it was on, because the rest of those magazines were just stupid because it was they were like the guidebooks, but then they'd have like cheat codes in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, they always had that.
I'd get cheat codes from online on those old sites where it would just be like it would look like WordPad or something where it was just white background with the text. And I printed them out for like Twisted Metal 4.
Oh my god.
Because you could get like a lot of stages in Twisted Metal 4 at the cheat codes, like really weird ones, like geometric grid ones and stuff like that. And that's one of those games like you're talking about, this Desert Storm. That like I can't play Twisted Metal 4 anymore. That game fucking sucks.
I remember my only Twisted Metal memory is PSP.
Okay, that was fun. I like Twisted Metal Head On. That was a fun game.
That one was fun.
But
could not
Twisted Metal 4 when you play it now, it was fun when I was a kid. You play it now and it's still funny because like the first level you have that Rob Zombie song, Dragula.
Oh my
plays
god.
through the entire level. So it's really funny.
God.
Yeah.
That just knowing that song, that would take me out of that game.
One time when I went over to one of my friends' places, we were playing Halo, just on the PC, like Halo on the PC, just playing through the campaign. He's like, "I'll put some music on," so he put on Dragula, like unironically,
God.
And I was just like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?"
I had one of those like Sony MP3 player, the ones that you had to load onto an SD card. Your music.
Okay.
And I would listen to Dragula a lot on one of those. In
Dragula's a prime
I had to have been
cheese song.
in like grade 9, to be honest.
Right. The same I am the one. Just like
dig through the ditches and burn.
I don't even know what the verse lyrics are. I just know like his tone of voice. You know?
Dragula.
It's so cheesy. I just love that it's in Twisted Metal 4, and I did buy the game again when it came to the pawn shop, but just trying to play it again is so hard. It's such a when you're a kid, game controls like shit. You're like, this is the game I'm gonna play, so I'm just gonna deal with it. And nowadays we're spoiled with actual good controls.
Oh yeah.
So when we have a game that controls like shit on the PS1, it's like, fuck this. I'm not playing this shit.
I always had like I'd go to my one of my cousin's house or one of my friend's house. They'd have a PlayStation 2, and sometimes they'd pop in like a PS1 game, and I'd just be like, "Wow, these games are shit." Like, how did? Obviously, like never saying that. I was like, "These games suck." Like, why did anyone ever play these? Like, this PlayStation 2 game, best thing we'll ever get. Now it's like,
now you play the PS2 games. You're like,
oh my god, I can't. I play anything that isn't like widescreen, and it hurts.
I've been meaning to try to play Lego Star Wars again, maybe just for the joke, or maybe because I actually like those games.
The Lego games, even the new ones, just like
they're so easy.
But yeah, and they control like ass though.
Probably.
Maybe it's
I really like
my shitty depth perception. I cannot play those games. I have such bad depth perception.
They're a little weird. Then they're just like they give you that rush because it's just about collecting bricks.
Yeah,
and they had Bionicle Heroes on the PS2, and it was on the 360 as well, which was in 2006. And that was kind of like one of the Lego games, except it was like third person. Yeah. It was like almost like a third person shooter, but you would also like collect bricks and use like force powers to build shit. And those games that was a really fun game, Bionicle Heroes. I think I beat it like 3 or 4 times.
Speaking of Bionicle Heroes, did I ever give you that back?
You probably still have my 360 copy.
I feel like I either gave it back or I still have it. I could actually look because my shelf is right there.
I don't care because I just bought the 360 one. When I first got a 360, I'm like, I'll get Bionicle Heroes for the achievements because this will be real easy.
That's why you lent it to me, because I got 100% in that game.
Yeah, because it's dead simple to get 100% Bionicle Heroes.
It's like the Avatar game. Pretty much.
Yeah, that was one of the classic ones. And that's the kind of thing when I look back at like all these achievements and stuff, like it was fun at the time, but do I look back and be like, oh man, I got all those Halo 3 achievements. I'm so proud of myself. Like, who cares? I only got them by boosting anyway.
I've stopped caring about achievements. Like, as soon as I built my PC and I started slowly switching over to like playing games on PC, I've just stopped caring about achievements as much. It's like, well, especially with Game Pass, I can get games on PC through Game Pass, and I can get achievements on it if I really care. But I played through Metro 2033. I turned the achievement notifications off. I didn't want to hear them.
Oh, Well, on like the 360, it was like big because it was really emphasized, and when you had like friends list and stuff, like that's when I was really like, yeah. And whenever an achievement would pop up, it would be like, oh yeah, buddy. But then as soon as I got a PS3, I stopped caring because it would just be like a tiny thing that appeared in the corner,
and trophies aren't as
I just never went for it anymore. They're not. They really aren't. So as soon as that was a thing, it doesn't even register for me anymore.
The only time trophies are like they're awesome is like platinum trophies, but then it's like I have to 100% an entire fucking game for this. Like,
yeah, those are difficult, really difficult to get.
And even then, sometimes they glitch out now, because they're like the Xbox One where they just glitch out, don't work.
Oh, well, I like that you can see on the PS4 like the level, like how many people have this trophy, and you could be like, I have an ultra rare trophy that only 2% of players have got.
They have that on Xbox. Do they do like a special little animation if you get a trophy that is rare?
I don't think so.
On Xbox, it flashes up this little like diamond, and it goes like not that high pitched, but it's like this little jingle. And nowadays, it's like every single game has like every achievement's rare because nobody fucking plays for achievements anymore half the time.
All the old 360 sounds are some of the most nostalgic game sounds ever.
I love just old like 360.
The console turning on, the achievement sound, the dashboard sound, like every sound that the 360 made is just like, oh, buddy, you know?
I remember because the 360 didn't originally have a turn-on sound, right? Like the original 360s?
I'm not sure.
If they did, it was a beep, but then you had like people who... Or no, yeah. No, the thing I really liked about it was the jingle, like the little... No, yeah, that was not when they didn't have the tap buttons. Yeah, no, there were no physical startup sounds as far as I remember. But then like when they did the physical touch buttons, you'd hear like you'd get the ding, and then your Xbox power button would flash a couple times, and then the disc tray would open.
Okay. But yeah, that's like the 360 for me. Like at first it was the cool system that you played at like your friend's place, and because I didn't get a 360 until the end of 2011, so by then, you know, Halo 3 came out, and like all like the really cool shit came out, and I already
the Xbox One was already on the horizon.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was pretty hyped when Halo 4 came out because I was like, finally I get to experience a Halo game. And I still like Halo 4. I'll defend Halo 4 because the campaign was really awesome, and the multiplayer didn't feel like a Halo game like Halo 3 or even Halo Reach, but it was a little more Call of Duty because it had like loadouts and stuff like that. But I enjoyed playing the multiplayer. They had a lot of weird game types, but it was really easy to get max rank in that game. Like even I got max rank just by nothing.
I never really played Halo multiplayer. Like I played custom games with you guys. That was about it.
Well, Halo Reach is the game that I really cared about and I really went hard on.
I think a lot of people did.
I went hard on. Well, Reach was actually, it was a good, because like the DMR was like a really difficult weapon to control in Reach, but Halo 3 is the game that I think it's even harder to be good at that game because there's a lot more that goes into that. Although you could just like, you know, AR and then AR beat down people.
And now Halo is a season-based game.
Who cares? Yeah, who gives a shit about Halo now?
They just launched season 2, and it makes me kind of sad that Halo is a season-based game now.
When's Halo 6 coming out?
Actually, I have no idea. I think Xbox is doing their thing soon, if they haven't already.
The release date, trailer, and updates already, or
well, those are always
out. They're having an event to reveal the first look at. Okay, because the teaser trailer for it was kind of like, look, we're gonna go back to the roots of Halo for this game. Because I guess they realized that Halo 5 was a massive fucking mistake.
Yeah, except there was that trailer. There's the Microsoft event should be coming up soon, I think. The virtual summit. No, there was the original like announced trailer where you see the Warthog kind of go jumping along the hill, and it just doesn't look Halo. Here, let's see if I can find it.
No, I mean, again, like Halo, like its time is done. They'll never they reached the pinnacle with Halo, and That's all there is to it.
Yeah, this was 2018. They were teasing this. Holy fuck.
It was that long ago.
Oh
Holy
my
shit! In
God.
June.
Ah, that's loud.
This is now 2 years ago. Holy shit!
I'm looking for one part, and I think it's just like this, like
the warthog.
I should change the screen over. Okay.
Marines.
Like, this doesn't look Halo to me.
Well, I mean, that helmet looks more like the Halo 3 helmet than
Yeah.
the Halo 4 one.
But and then like look at this. Look how that. I don't know, just how it kind of reacts when it hits this jump. Why does it look?
Wait, it's an entirely different look.
And
I mean, they try.
It's the gravity.
They try to make it. They try to make it nostalgic by having that one final effort or whatever it's called from Halo 3 in the trailer.
But this is what I'm really talking about though, is watch the gravity of the warthog. Oh wait, I went past it. Fuck. Like, it comes.
Yeah, it does react differently.
Yeah, it comes down so hard and just like that's not Halo to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's nothing that could possibly make me excited or want to buy an Xbox because
As long as
the
it comes out on
time's over.
Xbox One, I'll probably get it for free with Game Pass because thank you
There you go.
Microsoft for becoming fucking retailer of the retailer of subscription based.
Oh, that's right. But yeah, like I don't know. Like I love Halo. Like that's why I got a 360 and everything. That's what the 360 was all about. It was all about Halo.
Didn't you have the
you know?
Halo controller, or maybe the Xbox too?
I got a Halo controller at the pawn shop, but it was really shitty because I threw it at the TV and I broke it. But you know,
Who didn't break controllers?
you know how it goes when you're 15, 16. You know, you take your anger out in different ways.
Yeah, sometimes you just go furiously beat your meat. Sometimes you just smash the controller.
Yeah, I mean, I think come on, every guy at that age who played those games probably smashed a controller or at least came pretty close. You know,
I broke an Xbox One controller, so I was still like late into it. 360 controllers, fuck! Thank God I had a lot of those.
Yeah, man, fucking PS4 controllers. I'm not even trying, and I've almost broken 2 controllers just from playing Dead or Alive 6 and like Call of Duty, just from really using the sticks.
You can't drop Xbox One controllers. The bumpers, they're made of such thin plastic that if you drop them and they hit on a certain angle, it'll snap the arm that presses the button.
Oh, yeah.
It's like controllers now do not survive rage, which is why I'm very happy I'm not super ragey
well, because
anymore.
they want you to buy new ones, but the controllers cost way fucking more than they ever did. Like $75 for PS4 controllers.
Yeah,
At least they were.
expensive.
They were $75.
So you gotta buy third party.
But
You gotta buy Afterglow controllers. They're like $30. They're made out of cheap plastic.
And at the pawn shop, we ordered in a bunch of like bootleg ones that had like the same box and everything, so they looked exactly like official controllers. And there's really pretty much no distinguishing feature that, except I don't know, maybe a professional could tell, but they looked close enough. And they sent these things in, like they sent the boxes and everything in, so you had to make the box and put all the inserts in yourself.
That's
and like
so
tape it up.
fucking weird.
I know, but it was really fun to do that for one afternoon, just putting together these weird bootleg controllers.
It's my job today.
Yeah, it's that kind of task. But yeah, I know these these sticks broke like nothing, and now sometimes I'll be playing the game and it will just all of a sudden like tilt or go violently in one direction. It's like, oh, fuck off.
That how easy or like how durable like controllers and stuff were did not prepare me for mouse and keyboard. Mice just break. They just
Oh, really?
well, mice can only take so many clicks before they start
Right.
double clicking, or single clicks can like drag. So like when I'm playing RuneScape right now, I drag so much it pisses me off. My scroll wheel will stop working every once in a while. I don't know why that happened because I don't really use a scroll wheel that much.
Better go buy a bunch of cheap $5 ones then.
Nah, new mouse, the one I use is 500. Nope.
Excuse
No,
me?
I think that's just an eBay one. Oh, are they not available anymore? Oh no.
What the fuck? What are these prices? It's a mouse.
The
What
Logitech G403 mouse is a really good mouse. It's
yeah, but for $400,
it's some people will pay that money for that. Like, it's
the fuck.
I'd say like this mouse from all the Logitech mice I've used, this is probably like the second best.
Yeah, but for me, there's no justification.
No,
to pay
I will not pay $400
for
for that. So I'm probably gonna have to buy one of those. I kind of want to buy one of those lightweight mice with all the holes in them.
I can't think of one good reason to spend that much on a mouse. Like, I don't care how good it controls. It's ridiculous. I can buy the PS5 with that probably.
Oh yeah. Well,
Like,
can we?
the PS5 will probably be like 500 plus.
I can't wait to buy a PS5. Everyone, like, I'm finally leaving that Xbox ecosystem again, but technically not because of Game Pass. Like, that's the only reason I feel good about moving to PlayStation for my console, is because I can just play all my Xbox games on PC, or at least most of them.
Well, I guess so. So you got your bases covered.
Yeah, and at least for 2 years they'll be backlogging the new games onto the Xbox One. So,
All right.
that one exclusive we get on Xbox, I'll be able to play it.
Man, what has an Xbox exclusive even mattered in the last 5+ years?
Xbox exclusives now are indie games that'll end up on Steam like 6 months later.
Right. Yeah.
But they still they still make bank. Like, their consoles don't sell as much, but like
what games like Cuphead and shit, I guess, are Xbox exclusive and PC.
yeah, I don't. Well, now they're all over because it's on Switch and everything too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, like, it's just their Game Pass is now their bread and butter.
Man, remember the 5 seconds in time when people were like, Cuphead is racist, and it never made any sense why anyone thought that?
Oh, because it was like old like what is it, like old style TV? Is that why?
Yeah, but there was literally like no racist content in the game.
That game was so fucking difficult.
I guess that's its legacy. I never played it, so I don't actually know.
I almost cracked a controller for that one.
Oh, shit. Cuphead, the controller cracker.
It's such a stressful game, and I don't have the attention span to stare at a screen.
I guess it's supposed to be like the games of old. Like the NES games are all hard as fuck. All those old things.
Not a fan.
Yeah. And before this episode ends, I want to give an update. There is no new news on Cheaper by the Dozen.
That's your Cheaper by the Dozen update. 59 minutes in. We have to hold you in before we give the update now.
We really just got to let you guys know that there's been no updates on Cheaper by the Dozen, but you can keep tuning in and you'll hear all the latest news as it hits.
Yep. But you have to wait till later in the episode, because our watch time is real low, because we all know you hear that in the first 5 minutes and you're like, all right, I'm done, got my news.
Yeah,
I gotta hold you in.
We're just waiting. We're waiting because maybe you'll like our discussion about two pumping Bill Nye or whatever. So
shout out Bill Nye.
Keep listening. Like I said, I think it's my position, and like we had this debate last episode, but if you could literally 2-pump from soft 2-pump, then I think Bill Nye would have to come and see what was up. Like, he'd have to.
Well, yeah, he would have to come because it would be 2 pumps.
He'd have to come. Yeah. And like we were saying, like he might be embarrassed about being a 2-pump chump, but like I think for science, like Mythbusters, like all these guys would have to come and get 2-pumped just to believe it.
Do you remember like Bill Nye when he would do like his what the fuck was that one segment on his show thing? It's like the more you know kind of thing.
Does it take?
No, God. Oh. Yeah. Hey kids, how many pumps does it take for my fucking wife to make me blow my load in her face? No, but he's started doing that on TikTok, like his little.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, he did like he kind of talked through like this little thing, but it's a more like adult version. Like it's not him dropping F-bombs the whole time, but he's kind of like, it's more serious. It's not like, hey kids, here's my cock. I'll see if I can.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what Bill Nye
I remember
did, right?
when
shows his
in
dick
school we rolled out the old VHS VCR that was a strap to the thing, and the teacher's like, here's the Bill Nye video, and it started, and he was like, hey kids, this is my cock. I remember that episode vividly.
It's I looked it up. Consider the following.
Oh, consider the following.
And
okay,
he's doing it for getting people to wear masks. So like he's putting the mask on, he's trying to blow out a candle, the candle's not getting blown out, and he's just like, next time I'll consider the following. And as soon as he said it, I was just kind of like, I'm fucking old. Like there's people who heard that and they're like, what the fuck's consider the following? And I'm like,
or who are like, who is this old boomer?
I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but I showed my dad the Bill Nye The World Is on Fire from like 2 years ago.
No,
and he had never seen it before. Like I said, like, Bill Nye's on TV saying fuck and all that, and he's like, what? No, he's like, he's Bill Nye, he's kid friendly. And I showed him the video where he's just like, the world is on fucking fire.
Yeah.
I used to talk nice to you, but grow the fuck up.
Yeah. Good job, Ben. You're really gonna change people's minds by doing that.
Honestly, I didn't change me, but I listened to Bill Nye.
Fair enough. I just think a lot of the times when people come at it from an angle of that's that aggressive or something like that, then it just pisses people off more than anything. Like people who agree with the point of view will be like, yeah, buddy, and then other people will be like, fuck you, I'm not listening to you.
It turned into just such a meme. It's like Bill Nye, or I grew up, or fuck, Bill Nye grew up with us or whatever, because he's just all of a sudden like, what the fuck's going on?
Not gonna lie, I think Bill Nye's a little overrated. Like, I get there's a little bit of nostalgia and stuff, but like, it was always cool when the Bill Nye video was taken out. I'm not gonna lie, it was always cool when that happened.
I was just in it for the fucking Bill.
Yeah, or like the one episode where they're talking about like fulcrums or whatever, and he made like a Star Wars reference, and I was like,
honestly,
that's
couldn't
cool.
tell you anything I ever learned from Bill Nye.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was just an amusing, quirky thing.
Because they pulled out the Bill Nye, and everyone in the class was always just like, Bill.
Yeah, exactly. Just remember the funny things.
Like, it's nothing like the shit I was shown in like grade 6. We got our we got our first aid training thing, and it was like the thing for like, oh, if someone gets a deep cut and it like hits a nerve, or not a nerve, hits an artery. Literally, I'm in grade 6, and they show us a video of some dude who gets like a slice in his leg, and it just spurts out blood. And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, to prove just how much more fucked of a human I am, I thought it was funny. Yeah. I was like, haha, blood.
It's pretty grotesque. There was some stuff like that. There was one medieval video where it was like, here's how they did medieval surgeries, and I closed my eyes. I was like, I'm not watching this shit.
And I'm all for like, not in real life, like in TV shows and like videos and stuff, blood is like, I'm totally cool. I'm watching Hannibal, and fucking like people are getting their throat slit, and it's just like gushing blood. They're laying in puddles of blood, and I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Like when you watch like, you know, like Kill Bill, like the final fight scene where she's like cutting dudes in half and stuff, like that's like nothing because it's framed, like it doesn't matter. But then you watch like a movie where violence is used really effectively, like Silence of the Lambs, or
Silence of the Lambs, actually. Just like absolutely, you're talking about really like absolutely like gory murder kind of shit, right?
Or just when violence is used in a shocking way and it's really effective, instead of being used all the time and you're just like, this is dumb. Even in like the original Friday the 13th, like the scene where the guy gets the arrow through his neck. That's hard for me to watch, because I'm just like, oh god, because you can feel it, like, because it looks such a good effect.
Yeah.
And you watch it and you can just imagine that happening to you, and you're like, oh fuck, that's disgusting, you know?
Yeah. So
it's like,
I guess I have that feeling.
Scenes like that stick in my mind.
Oh, then you would have liked the end of season 2 of Hannibal.
Oh, jeez.
It's in my head. It's like that thought of like, I can imagine this happening to me, but really at the same time, I could not. It's basically like, there's the big twist. Someone gets pushed out a window, and she's got a huge gash on her forehead, like her forehead split open. And then the dude goes inside, gets his fucking stomach cut open, And then while he's bleeding out, this other girl gets her throat slit, and then she's bleeding everywhere. And there's two people literally laying in just a puddle of both their blood. And I'm just like, I could imagine that happening to me, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't think I don't think I could imagine that happening to me.
There's some movies that can just frame violence in such a shocking way, like Casino. There's this scene where they smash the guy's hand with a hammer. And they take the saw out. They're like, okay, we'll cut this hand off, or otherwise they just smash the dude's hand. Like, and then the scene where Joe Pesci gets beat the shit out of in his underwear with a baseball bat. It was both like funny and really disturbing. Like, it was a disturbing beatdown scene, but it was also Joe Pesci in his underwear being beaten up. So it was like, how am I supposed to take this? But a good movie makes you go like, ooh.
I want to reference Friday again, because this is more proof that I feel like phones are listening to us.
Oh, they are.
This is how the connection is really weird, because I was wearing a headset, and then I went on my phone, and there was a connection. And I didn't mention anything of this because I had no idea what you guys were talking about. The movie Twins.
Oh, yeah. I brought up the movie Twins.
You guys were talking about it.
Yeah.
Yesterday morning when I woke up, so literally like not even 12 hours afterwards, I wake up and I go on TikTok, and I'm scrolling through some talks, and all of a sudden this girl's like, you asked me if I've seen the hit whatever year movie Twins, and I tell you no, and you respond in surprise of why not, and she goes on this whole big thing of how she wants it to be the final thing she watches on her deathbed. And I was like, I've never heard of this goddamn movie until literally last night.
And then it's like a weird coincidence like that.
Yeah, I'm like, I swear to God.
I mean, Twins is a surprisingly good movie. Like I say, it's Arnold and DeVito, where they're twins because their mom, there's like some weird fucking science shit where her mom got like a bunch of dudes like genetic engineering to make like a perfect kid. So like the mom basically got like, the mom basically got like a bunch of just fucking different sperm in her or something like that, and they did something in a lab. So DeVito's like the reject kid, and Arnold is like the perfect kid.
That's fucking weird.
So they're like twins, and they have a journey to like find their mom and real dad and shit. But it's really funny because like every line that Arnold says in the movie is hilarious, whether he intends it to be or not. And because he plays such like a wholesome character who's been raised on an island, and he's just like a really good-hearted guy who doesn't really know a lot. And DeVito is just like what you would expect. He's just the piece of shit. He's a piece of shit.
He's just DeVito.
Yeah, he's just DeVito in the movie. He's just like, and it's like obviously the concept of the movie is funny. Like it's like ha ha ha, they're twins. They're so different, but the movie itself is more than that. Like I'm not saying it's some complex comedy. It really isn't. It's dumb, but it's fun to watch. It's one of those movies that you watch and you're like, that was fun. I had a good time watching this stupid movie. You know. That's what Twins is.
Any movie where like, it's just I think it's just besides The Rock, just big muscular guys where they're in some kind of like comedy. I don't see it. I can't get into it.
Well, the joke is always, big muscular guy doing things that big muscular guys don't usually do, like the Tooth Fairy or whatever.
It's just like Arnold, I think of Terminator. Stallone, I think
Jingle
of like
All the Way.
I think of Rocky and the Rambo. Yeah. I don't think of any kind of like comedies with these big guys. Even like I didn't watch The Expendables because I heard it was supposed to be a funny movie, and I'm like,
I didn't watch that.
Well, yeah, and it turned out it was.
But like
shit.
Schwarzenegger, like for me, like the things that I associate Schwarzenegger with are Jingle All the Way first, and then the Terminator.
The fuck?
Just the shitty fucking Christmas movie. We watched it in grade 9, if you remember that.
Probably not. I don't think I remember that.
It's the one that has the Anakin kid in it, and put the cookie down.
Did we watch that in grade 9? Honestly, I thought I just know that.
We actually watched it in grade 9.
I honestly just thought I'd know that quote from just like the internet.
Well, it's a classic old internet quote. But yeah, it's just such a shit movie, but obviously there's another good ones like Predator. Predator is
What's the movie where
it's
he
good.
says melons?
But I'm not too sure actually.
I don't even know.
Or Duma, however he says that. I don't remember.
It's weird. Like, it's just weird that Arnold is like, he has just 2 different or like 3 different lives. He was the governor of California.
Yeah, I don't know the story behind that.
He was a world-class weightlifter. Like, he has a lifting or a strongman competition named after him. Yeah. And he's an actor. Like, what the fuck? What is his life is just something different.
Yeah, like, I mean, he is really prime. Like, when you think of big muscly actor, like Schwarzenegger's like #1 guy I think about. Because like when I think of Stallone, I think like in the first Rocky, he was actually super good in that movie. Stallone in the first Rocky and the first Rambo movie, his acting was actually fantastic in both movies. So, and Stallone didn't become like a super jacked Arnold looking guy until about Rocky 3 or like Rocky 4. When you look at Stallone's physique from Rocky 1 to Rocky 4, you can see his transformation to becoming more of like an action hero, whereas he was more down to earth in Rocky 1, Yeah. He was more genuine in that movie. And then by the time you get to number 4, he's just like, and he looks so tiny in that movie as well. You just see this tiny guy and he's just fucking ripped and looking ridiculous. And by the time we get to Rocky 4, like in the first movie, Rocky and Apollo get the fuck beaten out of them and they look like shit by the end of the movie. But then in all the other ones, Stallone will get pummeled, but his face will be okay because, they don't want to make him look bad. Yeah. But meanwhile, he'll get the absolute, like, inhuman amounts of shit beaten out of him. And it's just, like, it's nothing. But in the first movie, they make him look more rough. But yeah, like, Rocky, like, look at him in this. He looks
so more... So this is 1, right?
That's 3.
That's 3. Whoa. 3. I typed 1. Where is he in 1? Where's a good picture of him in 1?
Let me see.
Maybe if I just type...
Just type in Rocky 1. Yeah, that picture that keeps coming up is from Rocky 3. Or just any of the ones like where he's fighting Apollo in the second row in the bottom.
Like this
second row bottom. Like yeah. Yeah, like right there. Like you see how he's a little more like there's a little more beef.
Yeah. And then just look at those.
Yeah, like look, he looks like an action figure in Rocky 4.
There's, I had this up before this. Blah, 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 back. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I know this is a heavily, like, posed photo, but still, like.
Yeah. That's a little.
He's a scary man.
Strange. Yeah. Well, yeah, he's a big
but there's always this picture. And it's this isn't even 2020. This is before 2020, but everyone was like, they're like, Arnold's lost it.
Yeah, what's happened?
But it's like,
man, all those celebrity vacation pictures get them at like the worst moment.
But you can't fucking look like he can't look like he was when he was 27 when he's 70 because you're fucking old at that point.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way you can keep that up.
I don't know how much this is picking up in the background. It probably is. My cat just keeps fucking meowing.
I heard a little bit of that.
Yeah, she wants to get up in the window and I'm not letting her.
No.
All right, so we wrap this up.
Yeah, that was what episode is this? Episode 12
episode
or 11
12.
or something? Okay.
Big old 12, the big old dozen. We've made a dozen of these.
The Cheaper by the Dozen podcast has reached the dozen episode.
We are truly now the Cheaper by the Dozen podcast.
Yeah, now that we've gone to
fuck, this whole episode should have been Cheaper by the Dozen. Shit.
Well, we don't have Mikey here, so we couldn't make that happen.
It's true. We'll do the belated Cheaper by the Dozen episode.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, that was us talking about our fucking nostalgia again, because that's apparently all we have in this fucking COVID life.
Man, that's honestly, this is just like everybody nowadays.
Yeah, we can't get new good stories anymore because there's no fucking we can't go outside to get stories.
There's just this is just what life is now.
This is life. Right. Well, that's it for the boys. Make sure you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, tweet at us on Twitter. Follow us or subscribe, whatever way you can follow the podcast on whatever platform you're on.
Do something.
Yeah, do that thing, that follow, sub, review.
You're either with us or you're not listening to us.
Yeah, which means you won't hear this. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, so
I'm Devin. That's Curtis.
This is Curtis.
No.
Yep. So me.
I like dragons.
I like kimonos.
Pause. Not.
Oh shit.
Bye.
Not. Bye.